everybody, and welcome to the Week 5 Prep Rally. Rob Hernandez alongside Dennis Semrau here on wisconsinprepzone.com. And Dennis, we're crossing that halfway point this week. From Week 4 to Week 5, 9-week high school football season this year. We're past the halfway point after Friday night, and we're here at Ashley Field in Sun Prairie because, once again, the big game is here in Sun Prairie.
Right, weren't we just here a few weeks ago?
It feels like it.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was a lot hotter. Hopefully it'll be a great night on Friday, but we have one team unbeaten that we expected would be. Well, we thought with the preseason predictions in Sun Prairie, but La Follette, what a story, La Follette and Mike Harris and the Lancers.
Yep, La Follette, Sun Prairie, 7 o'clock Friday night. And Dennis, right now we've got La Follette, Sun Prairie, and Madison Memorial atop the conference. We're surprised only in the fact that there are two city schools still in the mix. What makes La Follette a contender? What have the Lancers done well?
Well, they played great defense, and their offense has been pretty explosive. And also, this is a team Harris has been building for a couple of years. What makes this week special is that of all the teams that Sun Prairie's played over the last few years, they've had the toughest with La Follette. La Follette's really played them it's been a difficult game for both teams. And last year, Sun Prairie escaped with a win.
And like you said, Dennis, we thought Sun Prairie would be one of the teams to beat in this conference. It hasn't always been pretty, but it's been effective. At what point do you think Sun Prairie puts it all together and becomes kind of the team that we expect to dominate?
Well, sometimes when a team has success like Sun Prairie and they went to the state finals last year, you have high expectations. You're still high school kids. That was last year's team. This is this year's, and it takes, even though you have a 3-year quarterback in Curran, who set a school record for touchdown with passes.
Right.
And then Michael Marchese is wide receiver, and Craig Evans, who's had a great 4-year career as a defensive lineman. Still, you got the chemistry of new guys coming together, an offensive line that had to be rebuilt, a new running game. And Sun Prairie has done what they've had to do. They've won the games. They found a way. In some ways, that's better than if you have 4 blowouts.
That's right.
Because they're tested, and they know that when things come down to the end, they'll be there. La Follette's in kind of new uncharted territory.
Yeah,
they haven't
for sure.
had those expectations. They're going to have to come here and win here in, they call the pit.
That's
it's
right.
a great place to play football, not if you're the other team.
No, it's quiet here now, folks, but Friday night this place will be hopping. La Follette and Sun Prairie, 7:30 kickoff. I correct myself from earlier. 7:30 kickoff, back to 7:30 this week as they play on Friday. La Follette, Sun Prairie. Dennis, before we leave the Big 8, unfortunate situation last week in the Memorial West game. After the game, an altercation, it spilled out in the parking lot. Some citations were issued, likely to be some suspensions, and we don't know at this point who or how many for each team, but both teams with very important games this week. Madison West home to Middleton, and Madison Memorial going to Verona. And obviously Memorial trying to keep pace in the conference race, so that's a big game, trying to win on the road at Verona, which lost last week to La Follette. But the way I look at it, the West-Middleton game is going to be a must-win for one of those two teams if they want to get in the postseason.
Yeah, West for 1-3, they're one of the better 1-3 teams I think I've ever seen. And Middleton lost that first game to Memorial. They had a few suspensions and a few things to get going, a lot of new starters. So that was a tough game for them, and they've gotten better and better every week. Memorial is as good as we thought they'd be on offense, thanks to a couple of nice sophomores and revived defense. That's why they're 4-0, I believe. Now, it's an unfortunate situation what happened. Something has to be done. There have to be some suspensions. I've talked to a lot of the coaches from the area, and they say that can't happen. Especially you had a case where a referee was bumped in it,
right.
And then it carried out to the parking lot, which is unfortunate. But you talk to the veteran coaches like Nabi Kelleher, and he said, my kids knew if that happened, they were done. They were out. There wasn't a suspension. They were off the team. So we're going to see how that impacts both those games this week. Will they have a decision made by game time on Friday? Because definitely there's some key players involved. And again, it's a learning experience for a lot of other teams that say, see what happened. Now, do you have the right people in place for security? Madison Memorial went through this with the success in basketball.
Right.
They brought a lot of their administrators on the road with them
Right.
to make sure this didn't happen.
Well, I think accountability on the part of the Madison School District very much in focus here this week as they try to sort out that brawl from last week between West and Madison Memorial. Dennis, as we switch gears to the Southern Badger Conference, big game there, Monona Grove, Madison Edgewood over at Breitenbach. Monona Grove humming right along, And Edgewood, again, not pretty, but they're getting it done. It should be a great game.
Yeah, Monona Grove's had the edge over the last few years because of their extreme size in the offensive line. Now, Jaden Galt has not played for the last couple weeks for Monona Grove. He's had a knee situation. Mike Stassi, the head coach, has said it's not structural. It's one thing, though. They're looking at his future, and he hasn't been cleared to play. Maybe we'll find out on Wednesday. Maybe we won't this week. It could be a game-time decision like it has been the last 2 weeks. Still, they have 3 other offensive linemen that have been back that were all conference, and Tyler Blank has taken over at quarterback, done a very nice job, and their defense always has been stellar. So that's Monona Grove looks like they're going along where they should be. After the big win for Edgewood, they lost, over Wanakee. They lost to DeForest, but they bounced back.
They have.
They had that Milton win, which was huge to open the conference play. So that'll be a great game over at Breitenbach Stadium in Middleton.
And I got a chance to see Monona Grove last week, Dennis. You said Tyler Blank, the son of Darren Blank from that Blank family tree, so that's been rich in the Monona Grove history. But they reminded me a lot of DeForest. I mean, they're not big after Jaden Galt, but they hit hard, and they've got some speed, so that'll be a game to watch on Friday night, 7 o'clock over in Middleton, Monona Grove and Edgewood. Dennis, Capital Conference gets going this week. Lodi Lake Mills in the north, a good game to watch, but then Waterloo Marshall in the south. There's only, 5 more weeks to decide the conferences, and they start tomorrow night, or on Friday night. What do you make of those games, and what have we seen out of these teams in non-conference play that suggests who might be the teams to beat?
Lodi was the team to beat coming in, and they still are. In the north, Lake Mills switched to a different mode since the starter Turner is out for the season. His younger brother's now quarterbacking, and they're progressing very well. In the south, Marshall's been on that streak from winning conference titles. It's theirs until somebody takes it away. Will it be Waterloo? I'm not sure on Friday night, but Marshall's, again, another team that's progressed very well. And I think those are 2 very good games to see.
Yeah, and of course, not only did Marshall and Waterloo come through the non-conference season in good shape, but so did Cambridge, unbeaten at this point. So a lot to look forward to in the Capital South that just gets going. Dennis, we can start thinking about playoffs after this week. Some of these teams will start clinching playoff berths with, especially in the Big 8, winning records. Can you believe we're that far along?
No, I can. And one team to keep an eye on, Bigfoot. They've been there at state tournament level, and they're rolling along right well. And I keep looking to see what their scores are every Friday night as well.
Definitely. Well, we'll look for a lot of scores, and of course, you can look for scores on our live blog Friday night, wisconsinprepzone.com. Dennis will be at Monona Grove and Madison Edgewood. Nick Sunderland will be here in Sun Prairie for La Follette Sun Prairie. We'll have updates from throughout the area throughout the night on Friday on wisconsinprepzone.com. For Dennis Semrau, I'm Rob Hernandez. Thanks for watching Prep Rally. We'll see you at the stadium.